Hi guys, SMUGGLER1 here. We're going to have a little play with this CHEWBACCA ZETA that I've put on. Part of the issue for demonstrating it earlier is that with all the foresight running around on the General Kenobi Jedi Training Raid team, it's quite hard to get a clean target, so you don't quite see the effectiveness of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a crack at a couple of these other teams first, but I still think it's valuable against those teams because obviously you are hitting harder in the first instance, and that's important. And it also means in theory you could clear foresight and then hit harder because you're holding that power for 2 turns, not just one. So let's just try Illinois here and see what happens, and then we'll move through the rest of the teams. So this team's starting to get starting to get pretty heavy on Zetas, as you can imagine, because I've been adding them to everyone. But the strategy fundamentally doesn't change each time. Let's see if we can't have some fun with Luke. Yeah, that was fun. Okay. So, bringing the action over to CHEWBACCA. He's fine at the moment. Obviously, I'd rather he doesn't get fractured, so we're hoping that we're going to be able to keep blocking Thrawn, because that would be a little bit annoying. I'll get some turn meter going for my team here as well. Yeah, nothing quite seems efficient enough after using the Night Sisters, who just are beastly. They've been just ripping teams apart, and yeah, that's okay. You need some variety, but I say it just feels like matches take a long time when you're using every other team right now. Anyway, eventually CHEWBACCA will get a turn, possibly under Illuminated Destiny. And we'll get to see what he can do. Okay, here we go. So there's Illuminated Destiny. And we will use his basic first. I didn't see what that came up for. Have to check that one later. But what we're really interested in is what the second hit is going to be for. Which we may not find out unless somebody... yeah, we're not going to find out. Yeah, the interesting thing is that this team is now kind of set up for the future, because in the future there are teams that might actually last long enough for CHEWBACCA to hit twice. Okay, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I do believe this ZETA is good. I think it's probably the best of the 3 that I have used so far out of Veteran Smuggler Han, Rey's Insight, and now CHEWBACCA. I think it's likely to end up being the best of the 3, but so it's really hard to gauge it at the moment just because teams haven't been lasting long enough. Let's have a go at second. Got to do that refresh anyway and see how we get on against this team. This is a high turn meter team, so this could be interesting. One of the few teams that you could potentially lose to. Just a case of staying on top of Trooper and what they get up to. Of course, the other way of dealing with them is to ability block BB-8, and that slows them right down. Okay, we're going to give we're going to get Han in the picture. See if he can take some hits. Okay. So slightly different from the way I'd normally play this. We will actually bring the action on to R2 this time. But I'm just trying to create a situation where I can kind of show off what Chewie can do. So we'll see how close we get to that. Okay, so we're just kind of ticking along nicely. Okay, so right, Han is now down. So Chewie's basic for 18,000 non-crit, so that's still pretty good. Chewie should have had a second turn. Oh, and then perhaps he end up with full turn meter from his. He may have ended up with his full turn meter as a result of Han dying. Okay, so that's unfortunate because I tried to play that a bit clever, try and give myself more opportunities to demonstrate it, and end up losing. Okay, so let's just play that one again, showing you how I should have played it, because otherwise this is going to end up making me look a little bit silly. Yeah, I was just hoping I could sort of chance my arm there and get Chewie a few more goes to demonstrate. Okay, this is how you should be playing this team. Right, you do ability block BB-8. That just slows them down, so that's a good start. Okay. You actually use the basic there to clear foresight, and you actually bring the action on to Chewbacca first. That's how you should be playing this team. So I got a bit too creative and it cost me. But at least it does show that Arena is about strategy. Now, having cleared foresight last time around, now I get the triple hit on Kenobi, including the heal immunity. And suddenly I'm in the driver's seat. And I say it is important the order in which you play these things sometimes. And of course, as you can see, because I played it the way I have this time around, I am going to be miles ahead on this Illuminated Destiny count. And by then, Kenobi's going to be all but dead anyway. Yeah, full ability block around the group. That's pretty solid. So there's Illuminated Destiny. Now, of course, don't forget that Chewie still has to use 2 abilities. So by exposing Han to some potential firepower, I do increase the likelihood of Chewie getting several goes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit with Chewie's special on Rey for 43,000, not too bad. We'll see if we can't get Han killed. Let's just see if we can do that, because that will give Chewie another go with reset cooldowns. Although it's looking like I might end up winning this before he gets a chance. Yeah, okay. Like I said, it's just a case of if this team's played properly, other teams don't last long enough for you to really see the benefit of that Zeta. I think it will come into play in raids. In fact, if I get the opportunity, it'd be very interesting to see how that would play in a raid, because that really does mean Chewie's hitting much, much harder. So that's certainly got some potential. Particularly when you consider, on the tank will go multiple times on reset, so that gives you a nice little bump. I'd like to do just one more, I think, just so people can see it. So Paul will have to forgive me. I will jump into number 1 today. I'm sure he'll be okay, because normally I'm asleep, so he gets number 1 quite a bit. Although I do owe him an apology for the other day when I didn't notice who I was fighting and accidentally bumped him down to 5. So sorry about that, Paulus. Right, here we go. Now here, instead of ability blocking BB-8, because they have Old Ben, you ability block Old Ben. So that takes him out from the point of view of his taunt. It also takes him out from the point of view of ability blocking you. Same basic strategy. You clear Foresight first, because you'll use Ray's abilities later. If you can get the stun on Kenobi, great. But the main thing is to get the ability block out on the rest of the team. And now, of course, without any Foresight, you can get healing immunity on Kenobi straight away. And we are off to the races. And my version of the turn meter machine is suddenly up and running. And of course, Kenobi, who is arguably one of the better characters in the game, gets completely neutered if you play this strategy, because his usefulness as a tank goes down because of the heal immunity. Goodbye. And he never even gets to use his specials, so that kind of really sucks for him. Same thing, moving the target away from Chewbacca and onto Han. We will ability block BB-8 on this occasion. Okay. And moving nicely towards Illuminated Destiny. Won't be long now. There it is. See what we can get from Chewbacca this time. Another 42, so not bad. Han doing his thing. I wonder if I can actually get them to kill Han off this time. Yeah, looks like again it's going to be really hard getting Chewie to a second turn. Yeah, it's going to be really hard getting Chewie to a second turn here. There he is. There, so 26,000. That's substantially higher than his 20,000 base position, and lower than the 40,000 you get when he's sat there for a lot of turns. But it does show that it gives you a benefit. An extra 6,000, that's a lot. And in theory, that would be turn on turn. Now, the only question for me now is, now Chewie is hitting harder turn on turn. Do I want him to go a little bit faster and get regular, slightly hard hits? Or am I happy to have one big monster hit and a couple of enhanced ones? That's a question I'll have to answer in another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like, please subscribe, leave a comment, make some suggestions, and I will see you next time.